This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry.
Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more. But it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Q Time is a classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Standard protection that's never not working. Head and Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
It's never.
Good day once again. Welcome to the Grumpy Old Nerds. I am your resident host, the grumpiest and oldest of nerds, Uncle John, your elder who watches entirely too much TV and film and reads too many comic books. As usual, I am accompanied by a lovely, and I'd say lovely in full meaning how they appear, lovely cast of characters with a very interesting grimace on his face is the red bone assassin, Uncle DJ. Hi, Uncle DJ.
Hi, beautiful.
I knew it was coming.
You know,
Since we're throwing that adjective around.
You know what? I was playing the part of Magic Johnson, lobbing it to Kareem, and he just slammed dunked. So, well, no, Kareem didn't really dunk. He just gave us more of a sky hook. But either way, he knew what to do with it. Also, from the planet of Florida, by way of the galaxy of Brooklyn, we have Uncle Rod. What's going on, Doctor?
What's up, everybody?
We're missing a few of our elders today. Uncle Percy is off doing Uncle Percy things, and Auntie Nicole is way too attractive for this program, so I guess she'll try and join us shortly when the attractive levels go down some. And as always, on the ones and twos, to excuse the gas from the old man, excuse me one more time, is Uncle Roy. Uncle Roy is off doing boss things right now. He's on the phone and producing TV shows and podcasts and, excuse me, all kind of shit. So good for you, Uncle Roy.
He's working on getting the con together.
That's right.
And we are excited to announce the Urban Nerd Con in Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. There will be a whole bunch of things and people there and places to go and things to see. And you will get to see us in person if you happen to be at the con. And if you're not at the con, we will be broadcasting from the con. So please don't forget to get your tickets to the Urban Nerd Con at theurbannerdcon.net in Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Another shameless plug, the Urban Nerd Con. The Urban Nerd Con in Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Get your tickets now. So,
You get to
gentlemen,
see if we're really that short in real life.
and see how fat we are as well, and old, and see how grumpy we are. I know, Uncle DJ, you resemble that remark. Forgive me for putting that out there.
Absolutely.
As always, I would be remiss. I was going to talk about something else, but fuck it. What about this show is scripted? What I have realized is that tomorrow is the season premiere of Atlanta, starring Donald Glover and Lakeith Stanfield and Zazie Beetz and Brian Tyree Henry.
Brian Tyree Henry. Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
This show, quite possibly, is one of the greatest shows that I've ever watched. If you are not a fan of Atlanta, if you haven't watched Atlanta, I don't know if we can be friends because the show is too damn and you ain't got no good sense. The story of Atlanta is about a young man named Ernest. They call him Ern, played by Mr. Glover, who is the manager for his cousin, who is an aspiring rapper named Paperboy. That's Paperboi, I believe? Paperboy, or however you wish to pronounce it. And their adventures and misadventures, maneuvering through life as young black men trying to make it in the entertainment industry. Lakeith Stanfield plays their uh, completely crazy friend Darius, and Zazie Beetz plays Ern's girlfriend. And when I tell you this show is so rich that each of these characters could hold down an episode on their own, and they have. Um, this show is just outstanding. I mean, it goes to the metaphysical. It's clearly giving us life lessons on various topics, but it's hilarious and funny and scary all at the same time. And hilarious and funny, two same damn things. Um, Thought provoking is what I meant to say.
I think
But if you are not, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that when it first came out, when it first started, people really didn't know what to make of it. And if you just kind of rock with it for a little while, it started to make more sense. Things started to fall into place, and you really got what it was trying to do,
Well,
and it's going to a good
becomes
place.
yeah, because it becomes so metaphysical. The episode where Al Paperboy mourns his mom and he gets lost in the woods. I mean, that is so fucking Atlanta, where you could be on the street corner at a liquor store, walk 2 blocks, and be in a forest. That's being from Chicago. That fucked me up when we first moved down here. It's just like, people who
Yeah,
don't know Atlanta like that would just be like, "What the hell, man? He was just in the urban setting in the city, and now he's lost in the
right.
woods."
Now
Yes,
you're in
that
Yeah,
woods. Yep.
shit can
we got
really
that.
happen.
We got that shit too.
We have it, but not to that extent, DJ. We, meaning
Hey,
Chicago,
hey,
it's not to that extent.
you cross over 79th Street. You think you in the forest?
Right, but that's 79th Street. I'm talking about fucking downtown. Atlanta, if you make a wrong turn somewhere, you could be like in the woods. Like, what the
Wait,
fuck am
wait,
I
wait.
doing
You can be
in the
downtown
mountains?
Chicago, take your ass down to Lower Wacker Drive, and you're like, where the fuck am I?
I mean, yes, there are. Chicago is entirely nuts in and of itself, but you ain't gonna be down in Wacker Drive seeing nothing but trees. You gonna be in the tunnels in the subterranean levels of Chicago, but that is not the same thing. But yeah, Atlanta, please check it out. It's
It's like
Donald.
every town in Atlanta is like that. They've got their urban part. You walk a few minutes in one direction, and it's looking like green acres.
Bang!
As
Yes,
long
you are in the
as, long as you
middle
don't hear doo doo
of
doo doo
fucking
doo
misery.
doo 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 doo.
Shit, you might.
Ah,
Now, when you hear that, you got to make sure you got it on you,
man,
Right.
because it's about
start
to go down.
running.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an episode where Zazie Beetz, who plays Ern's girlfriend, she has to pass a drug test to retain her teaching job, and it's hilarious the lengths she goes through. And at the end, we spoil shit in this show, but I'm not going to spoil this. The ending to
What?
that,
We're not. Uh oh.
What about
We're
the
not spoiling
invisible
this.
car?
oh my god, that caught me by such surprise at the end of that episode. I was like, what the fuck? Or Black Justin Bieber. Now that was some surreal type shit, and it was just like, wait, Justin Bieber, but he's a little black kid. So, and I forget which episode it is, but it's one of the first episodes, but Ern is in jail and he's in holding, and there's a conversation going on between two people next to him, and the conversation takes such a turn. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but
Oh my god!
it's so
Come on.
fucking funny.
Wait a
No,
minute. What
no,
season is
kiss
this
my
now?
ass. We're coming up on season 3.
And you don't want to spoil season 1.
Nope.
Wow.
Kiss my ass.
Hey,
Kiss
hey,
my ass.
DJ.
Nope.
Let's keep the same energy throughout the show. Let's see what happens.
Oh,
Okay.
no, fuck that. I'm spoiling everything else.
Let's see what happens.
Let's keep the same energy. Let's see what happens.
And
Okay,
everything
so we're gonna
else.
talk about the show that came out last week. And spoiler alert.
Yeah, fuck you. But there's a certain amount of respect I have for that show that I don't want people to watch it. A lot of the shows that we talk about and a lot of the stuff in the comic books that we talk about on this particular show are cliches and have been done 1,000 times before. But with Atlanta, I would like to say that a lot of this shit isn't necessarily new, but it's brought to you and with such a spin on it and so fucking brilliantly that I respect it enough where I don't want to spoil it for people. Now, you can go ahead and spoil it if you want to, jackass, but I don't want to spoil it for people because
No,
that's just
it's
the kind of
definitely out the box.
guy I am. Yeah, definitely. So DJ, your recommendations for Atlanta. What is it about Atlanta? Because you seem to be a fan of the show as well.
Oh no, I'm a huge fan. I at first I was like, do I really want to watch a show, about Atlanta? I was like, I'm a Chicago dude. I don't give a fuck about Atlanta. My friends down there, moved down there, keep sending fucking, pictures and screenshots of their fucking phones and their car dashes showing the temperature 78 and all of that bullshit and all this
That would
good
be me.
food. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't want to see this shit. But
They're
then I
trolling the
was
hell
like,
out of
all
you.
right, huh?
They trolling the hell
Yeah,
out of you, bro.
But so I finally sat down and watched it, and when I got to the invisible car, I was hooked. I was like, okay, all right, I'm good. I'm in there. I'm in there. So everything like after that, the thing about the invisible car, the reason it's so important to the show is because no matter what you thought the show was going to be about, once you experience the invisible car, now you're like, okay, anything goes. Like like I'm in because just that right there has got me because that's telling me right there that anything goes with this show, you know, and for the last 3 years or whatever it has, pretty much it has like it's taking you on that ride and the comedy, the heart, the drama, everything is mixed. Mwah. It's on point. And Zazie Beats. I'm
And we
sorry.
haven't.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
Man, dude. Man, listen.
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we haven't had new episodes since 2018, I believe,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So
It's definitely been a minute.
what they're actually
No,
going to
no,
do
no.
is they're going to run.
Maybe 19. It ain't been that long. It ain't been 4 years.
Oh, 3, because that's not as long as 4.
Hey man,
Jackass.
365 days makes a difference.
So and
A lot
and
can
what they're
happen
actually
there.
going to do, is run season 3, and then take a break for a couple of months, and then come right back with season 4, and then that's it. So yes, please relish in this TV show and enjoy it while it lasts because it is outstanding. Just for the Teddy Perkins episode alone, it was both frightening and hilarious. And yeah, I'm not going to say anything else about Teddy Perkins because that show. Actually, Teddy Perkins actually showed up at an award show. Y'all remember that when Teddy Perkins was at an award show with Donald
No.
Glover?
I
So
that's
don't
funny.
remember. I missed that.
he was bordering on Kanye right there, but that was that was definitely an Atlanta moment where Teddy Perkins and
Okay.
Donald Glover showed up. And when you see the episode, you'll see what I'm talking about. So anyway, before we go any further down that particular rabbit hole, let's get to the meat of this show. A couple of weeks ago, Netflix released The Adam Project, starring everybody's favorite white boy, frat boy, Ryan Reynolds. Uh, time travel, a time travel spectacle, if you will. And I watched it. Rod, I know you said you didn't see it. DJ, did you see it?
Haven't gotten a chance to see it yet.
Zoe
Yeah.
Saldana.
So he's seen it.
So I'm going. So I'm going.
Yeah, he's seen it.
Well, DJ, you're light enough where she would actually be in a project with you.
Damn.
Ooh.
Are we going there?
Ooh, wow.
Is that what we doing?
Wow.
Okay, so Zoe
Wow.
Saldana, of the three major projects she's been in, the Atom Project, Star Trek, and Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yep,
her
Marvel movie.
lead, yeah, her lead has been a white dude, or her romantic interest in each has been a white dude, or do Vulcans not count?
Well,
Okay, she was in that movie four funerals, no, Death at a Funeral, that starred Chris Rock and Martin
Right.
Lawrence. So, and
Yeah.
that was an all black cast, and that was an all black cast,
So she didn't
except
have a choice there,
for
huh?
her love interest, except for her love interest, who was James Marsden.
Oh, so she
So
did
anyway,
have a choice.
uh, yes,
She
and
doesn't.
she chose the
She's
white
an
man.
actress. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Unless she wrote the shit, unless she casted it, she's an actress taking a job. And
Okay, your point
just
there.
like, uh, just like Tandy Newton, who favors, they have the same, kind of physical characteristics and stuff. They often get cast in these roles where they are, the sister who fits this type of, groove, like, with this guy or that type of deal, you know.
You lost
I
me
Yeah,
mean,
on
that's
Rod,
just
that.
how
you
they.
understand?
No, I'm saying, no, I'm saying that's how they get.
Yeah,
That's how they
Rod,
get
you're
typecast.
right.
That's how they get typecast.
They get typecast as being the girlfriend slash wife of the unassuming white dude who ends up being the hero in the story.
A lot of times, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
because otherwise, if they were more comfortable with a darker sister, then it'd be a darker sister. But no, they want the thinner, more light skin. Is she black or isn't she? Is she more Asian? Is she more Hispanic? We don't know,
I'm
but
gonna be honest with
it.
you. I was surprised she was killed in Han Solo.
Mm.
Her and her and Woody Harrelson. I was
I
really
thought we weren't.
surprised.
I
she
thought we
was
weren't spoiling. Wait, I thought
I
we weren't
figured they would
spoiling
have.
this episode.
Right, right, right,
she
right.
was. Oh no, fuck that. Go ahead. Spoil away. She was in
No,
Han
this has been a
Solo.
long time, man.
Oh, okay.
He's
Hey,
like,
so I got someone wishing me well. What's going on, Brandon? Brandon, good to see you, sir. Uh, James Otis Hall thought it was entertaining. Yeah, we'll get to
when
that
was
in a
she in
minute. So
Han
we're still
Solo?
ragging. We're still ragging on Zoe Saldana.
Tandy Newton.
Yeah.
Oh, Tandy
Oh,
Newton.
I
Right,
thought you.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he lost me too.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana was in The
Col-
Losers. She was in Columbiana, like James was saying.
And
Yeah.
she was in The Losers, where she was in love with
All right. What about
in
Drumline?
love with Drumline. Early in her career when she was still considered black. Yes, she was in Drumline, and she was the
You
love
know
Nick
interest
what?
of
Cannon.
Nick Cannon.
Wow.
She was. She was. but
Damn.
all jokes aside, I know that I know that it wasn't. I know that it wasn't her decision to cast to be cast opposite white man. I get that. This is more about Hollywood than it is about her. I just feel that it's
It's
very interesting
absolutely about
that
Hollywood.
that a woman that a woman of color, because she's Hispanic as well. A woman of color is cast in so many roles where the white man is her savior slash love interest. I find that her and Tandy Newton, and
Okay. Wait.
yeah,
Wait.
the
Wait. Wait.
fact
Wait.
that
Wait.
their
The reason
favor
I.
is
The
even
reason.
worse.
Okay. The reason I'm putting. I'm defending Zoe, is because the movies that we're talking. Drumline stuff, like you said. It's when she was allowed to still be black because she wasn't that well known.
That's
But
what I
then
said.
after that,
But go ahead.
the three women, the three you talked about, we're talking about mega fucking blockbuster, franchises. We're talking, billions of dollars. So they could have chosen whoever they wanted to. but they chose her because they have typecast her into that, that role. So I mean, I at least give some dap to a sister, a person of color, especially a female, that it didn't go to a white woman, or it didn't go, it went to a sister. You know, like out of those movies, we always complain that there's no black people in space. At least, in science fiction. So I mean, at least here's a sister. I mean, we gotta make up our minds. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to complain there's no black people in space or in science fiction. Here's a sister that has eked through in three of the biggest franchises of all time, and she's one of the main stars. So why are you holding that against her?
So first, I thought I said that necessarily holding it against her, it's a Hollywood thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's
No, that's
rewind
the
the tape
last thing. No, that's
and
the
see.
last thing you said,
See,
and you kind of had
and
to be
I
like
think
cajoled into that.
the next point is that the fact that she's in major Hollywood blockbuster pictures does not move me because it's still the objectification and sexualization of women of color. Because these white men love them some little chocolate women. And yes, Star Trek, just take Star Trek for an example. She's playing Uhuru,
Uhura.
who was Uhura, who was immortalized by Nichelle Nichols. Now,
Right.
if I remember correctly, Uhura, except for one kiss with Captain Kirk that sent the entire world crazy, she didn't have a love. Jesus Christ.
She didn't have a what?
So are we back? Am I
Yeah,
back? Maybe it was just me.
yeah.
Were we gone? Were we ever
No,
gone?
you good. Keep it
I
rolling. You
think
good.
now I can't hear anybody. Can
Uh
y'all hear
oh.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I can't hear you. Well, you know
Oh.
what happened? The white man got control of the internet and didn't want me to make my didn't want me to make my point. But anyway, as I was saying, um,
NSA on line one.
Uhuru did not have a love interest in the original, but for whatever reason, in the remake, reboot, recycle, whatever reclamation, whatever they did, they wanted her to have a love interest and gave her Spock for whatever reason. In
First
Guardians
of
of the
all,
Galaxy,
it
she's
was
got,
great to the
the
story.
other ultimate frat boy in Star Lord, Chris Pratt. So for me, it just seems that, yes, she's a working actress, so she has to work and she has to get jobs. But it is still the objectification and sexualization of black women or women of color because everybody wants their little chocolate queen. I would love to hear your rebuttal, but I can't hear you all. So I guess I'll just be quiet now. Let's piss off
What's wrong with this
everybody
dude, man?
watching. So I'll tell you what, fellas, you all feel free to talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna cut out and try and get back in and see if I can hear you then.
Uncle Rod,
So,
what do you think?
yes, sir. I think that Hollywood can and should do better with that. Um, you mentioned before the whole idea about there's no black people in space. Um, Now that's not true. However, even in space, we are the minority.
Right,
Um,
right, exactly.
although it's gotten a little better. I mean, I've looked at shows like The Expanse or Altered Carbon, and it seems like
Absolutely.
those worlds are um a lot more multi-ethnic.
Well,
And
because like the independent stuff, like when Gina Torres was coming up, she was on Cleopatra 2025 and Firefly,
Firefly,
some other
right?
things that were more. But even before Firefly, though, she was, like I said, she did something called Cleopatra 2025,
Hmm.
25. Um, the independent stuff, you're gonna get diverse characters, you're gonna get diverse, cast and stuff like that, But you
Right.
want, you get to Hollywood, like you said, Hollywood, this is big money, so they're giving the big paychecks to their people, you know. unless
I think,
you make
well,
that name for yourself. You know, Sam
yeah, I think they
Jackson.
want to they want to make sure that the majority of their fan base is comfortable, whatever that
Right,
whatever that is.
right.
So
Because I mean, how many
yeah,
freakouts happen on a fucking daily basis every time a new cast is announced, and how many freakouts are there instantly? From the nerd base. Oh, why are they making such black? Why is such and
yeah, I was gonna
such?
say you see that a lot in comics. Absolutely,
Right, right. So I
the people
mean,
lose
the
their
only
minds and
way
freak out.
exactly. So hashtag Urban NerdCon until we get to a point where we're making our own content and we have something that blows up like a Black Panther to the extent where we are controlling it. We are you know Ryan Coogling it. I don't know if
Right.
that's a verb. Could be a
I
verb.
know I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You
But it
know.
has to be it's gonna have to be a project where being black or being African is not one of the main tenets of the project. So in
Right.
other
I just
words,
don't.
you couldn't have Black Panther with like 50% white people. You couldn't do that because that goes
Right.
against what the whole thing is
It
about.
it
So
doesn't
it's gonna
even
have to be
fit.
something right. It's gonna have to be
Right.
something where it's not necessary for certain people to be a certain race, color, creed, gender,
Right.
whatever. It's
My
gonna have to be
my only
something
thing is
that is
this.
really like multi-ethnic or
Yeah.
really, really diverse.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. What I wanted to say is my only thing is this. At this point, at this stage in 2022, moving forward, I don't want us to start Amos and Andy and people that are getting typecast based
You might want to
based
explain
you
that
know.
because I don't know if everybody listening, I don't know if the 5 people listening know what Amos and Andy is. So you might
Oh,
want you might
uh,
want to kind of go over that real quick.
damn. Did I go too far back and shit? I'm sorry, my bad. Um, I don't
Because
want
we are
I
old.
don't. Yeah, we are very. These are going to be old nerds, right? But basically, like, um, out of a time. How about I don't want to have them black exploitation where
There you
what I'm
go.
saying, like
Okay.
they're pigeonholed, where either they can be true to themselves and be in the movie that nobody sees, like us, having our 5 people, we're keeping it real, grumpy old nerds and shit, you know, or you can be in the big movie, but you kind of either, I mean, as long as on Star Trek, she wasn't, pushing a broom, a mop or whatever, cleaning up the cabins, or whatever. I'm just saying, like, as long as it's not detrimental, as long as it's not, uh, you know, some woman
Demeaning.
is going to be some woman's going to be Spock's girlfriend. That's how they wrote it. You know, I don't think they wrote it
So
and said, okay,
John's argument is why did it have to be Zoe?
because who else? Okay, and out of Star Trek, what other woman from Star Trek do we know? I mean, the great, uh, Nichelle Nichols, right?
Nichelle Nichols. Yep.
Right. The great Nichelle Nichols took Uhura and made her a legendary part of Star Trek. There
Correct.
is no other. There is no other woman. There is no other female of the Star Trek cast. It's just her.
Any major one, yeah. I mean, they've had here and there. They had
Right.
like bit parts for like an
Oh, no, no,
ensign
no,
or a nurse or
absolutely.
something like
But
that.
I'm
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm
She was
saying
the main one of the main people.
original,
Absolutely.
right, of the original canon, her performance and her just her uh on screen persona. You know, Nichelle Nichols made her so huge that she couldn't be ignored. So, even from the 60s till now, we're talking 60 something years later, you've got the cannon, you've got the captain, the Vulcan, the engineer, and you got Uhura. So
Right.
somebody was going to play Uhura, and luckily for us, they didn't put a Bollywood actress in it, or what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like take her and make her, not quite white because we'd all have a fucking fit, you know. Um, but they at least kept it a person of color, you know.
Well, let me ask you this, because J.J. Abrams in that first movie, like right
Yeah.
away, right off the bat, he wiped out all of the other canon, that all the other things that happened in the other Star Trek universes. When he did what he did in the beginning of the film, he wiped all that out. So basically, he wanted you to think about just what he had, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah. Now
so if
I'm
so
not
if that be
I'm not
that right,
denying
so
that.
that being the case, okay, so that being the case, why couldn't Scotty have been a black dude?
Oh, true. Very true. No, I'm not.
You
I'm
know,
not defending. I'm not
I'm just
defending
saying, yeah.
anything. No, but I'm not defending anything other than the fact that Zoe Saldana. I just feel like it's unfair to put it on her just because she got a job.
No,
You
no,
know.
no, absolutely. No,
We
he's
still
not
talking
putting it
about
on.
this?
No, I don't think he's saying that. I don't think John was saying putting it on her like it's her fault. I just think, like we
No.
were saying before, it's a Hollywood thing. It's the people who have the money behind the film that say this is what they want. They go to casting directors and say this is what we want, and the casting director says, "Here you go. Is this what you want? Yeah, that's what I want. Put it on the screen."
Yeah.
So
No, I get that. I
yeah,
get that. But I'm saying whenever I say the name Zoe Saldana, all of a sudden, John gets that look and that, and his lip curls up and shit, See? See? There you go. Right. Exactly.
disdain.
Exactly.
So, okay, I believe we were talking about the Adam Project.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
Yes.
thought.
Adam Project. Let's roll
So,
before we got on the Zoe
disc
Saldana train.
a disclaimer. So, aside from whatever technical difficulties I may have, um, my wife, in her ultimate wisdom, wanted to stop at Crystal's on the way home to grab dinner. Crystal's, for those of you up north, is an even worse interpretation of White Castle. So, my stomach is bubbling. I may have a few issues where I may have to duck out every now and again.
Crystals
Is it
with
that
a
bad
K.
already, dog?
I
Oh,
mean,
dude.
dude,
Crystals is just like White Castle.
Nah,
no,
White
White
Castle is a
Castle
little
is a
better.
much better.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
Oh,
White Castle
really?
is a much better
yeah,
interpretation of
Oh,
that.
absolutely,
wow.
Yes, yes.
absolutely.
There's no comparison except for the size of the burger. It's that no, and Crystals is not kind to me. But yes, the Adam Project. Rod, you didn't see it, but DJ, you did see it. Give me
Yes.
your review of that. Give me your review. Your review of the Adam
Oh, me?
Project.
I was,
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
was going to let
DJ.
the guy do his
It's
thing.
on you, man.
Well, I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds, always have. I'm a fan. So, his humor, his sense of humor. Um, I love I love the chemistry between him and the kid. Playing his young self. Uh, the kid did a great job. You know, um, to be honest, I mean Zoe and Jennifer Garner were just kind of there. It was really the relationship between the between them. So that in itself, that was great. It was kind of a magical thing, like what if you could see yourself in the future and you were awesome and you can go back and revisit your childhood and give yourself some advice. And I mean, for me, that was the movie. Everything else was window dressing, but it was the relationship between Ryan Reynolds and the kid.
That's one
So,
of the ultimate adult fantasies, man. To be able to go back in time and
yeah,
change stuff.
to go back in time. So, me being the grumpiest of the bunch here on the show today, I'm going to have to say that it was just okay. Um, I'm growing weary of Ryan Reynolds' shtick. Um, yes, he is funny. I'm not going to deny the fact that he's funny, and he's that white frat boy humor. And Ryan Reynolds is excels at being Ryan Reynolds and doing Ryan Reynolds things. So he has been Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool films. He has been Ryan Reynolds in Red Notice, the other Netflix film that he did. He was Ryan Reynolds in this film, and he'll be Ryan Reynolds in everything he ever does from here on out. So unless there's a grand storytelling going on around him, he was Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy. Now, Free Guy had a premise that I thought was really actually kind of original and was fun. But with this, I have an issue with time travel films if they don't mix with the time travel. And yes, I understand I'm being a gatekeeper with a lot of this shit. But the fact that
Okay.
they never really explained how, as an adult, he did not remember what was happening to him as a child. Or did they, DJ, and I missed it?
Well, they kind of did because, and the thing is, I like the way they did it. What they what it was is, and maybe this is why I can relate to it a little bit more. I don't have a relationship with my family anymore. I haven't spoken to my mother or my father in over 10 years. Don't know if they're alive or dead. You know,
Wow.
I have my perception of how our relationship, was over the years and how it got to a certain point. So when I watched the movie, and I could relate to him seeing things from his perspective as an adult, because he took whatever was his perception, and he ran with it, and that's all he remembered. And seeing his kid self, and seeing how the kid self was, treating mom, or talking about dad or whatever, blah blah blah, and the kid kind of coming back at him a few times saying, no, 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 you know this happened, don't you remember this happened, and remember we used to do this together, and blah blah blah. And so it was kind of an avenue. It was therapy for the two of them, in a sense, because it was like, well, I remember it this way. It's like, well, it was actually this way. Maybe you should give mom a break, or maybe you should look at dad's his perspective a different way. And then when they got to meet, Mark Ruffalo, and he was like, no, 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 here's the real. So, like I said, that for me was the story, and I can relate to it more. You know, maybe if I went back and saw my younger self, and saw it differently from a different perspective, maybe I'd have a different perspective now as an adult. But I don't have that. I got what I remember, and from I remember, they're both dicks. So, you know.
All righty.
Okay, so apparently someone needs to write the DJ Collins story because that shit sounds entertaining as fuck. But what, and I get that, DJ, and that was one of the selling points of the film. But everything else just kind of fell flat for me. And like I said, I am an asshole when it comes to time travel movies, and it all has to make sense to me, and it didn't make sense. Like, if they could change, since they were working on changing shit, I wouldn't let my daddy die. To be very honest, he wouldn't die. He flat out, whatever accident that happened that he died would not happen. I would prevent it. Fuck time. Fuck everything else. I'm
I was
not.
gonna
I'm
say,
not going to allow.
how that goes.
Wait. Okay,
I
so
mean,
wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Since we're going there,
go ahead.
I thought that old girl killed him. Didn't they change time
I
in a sense?
I thought they did, but they said that he died in a car accident. They never really made it plain. It was ensued
Oh,
that maybe she had
okay.
something to do with his death, but it never really
Right.
was said that yes, she killed him. So because by killing her, that would have prevented her killing him.
That's what I'm saying. And see, maybe I'm
Yeah.
remembering it
So
wrong, but I thought that she was responsible for killing him.
no, they never made that plain. They never
Oh,
said that
okay.
that was truly the case. They just said he
Gentlemen,
died in a
Okay.
car accident. What's
gentlemen,
up?
I think you guys only need to read a comic called Flashpoint. We're talking about changing shit in time, going back and changing shit in time.
You
Watch
know
and see
what?
what happened to
Fuck
Barry
DC
Allen
and the
when he
Flash.
decided to do that.
fuck DC and the Flash. Look. If I had the opportunity to save my daddy, I'm saving my damn daddy. That's just not. That's just not going to happen with me. So James
That's what
Otis
Barry
Hall, I
said
saw
too.
your comment. Uh, James Otis Hall had a comment about what was going on in that film. Something about changing the timeline, and
Yeah.
The whole changing of timelines is a very tricky thing, and a very the whole trick of well, I'm change the timeline and change it back and go back and change it. Okay, first of all, you can't. Once it's changed irrevocably, where you can't go back and change it again, because if you change it, you think you change it, shit blows up anyway. So I mean, it's just that whole the whole time travel thing. Okay, fine. Zoe Saldana was on the screen for maybe a third of the film. The villain wasn't really villainous to me, I guess, because her
Just
younger
happened to be
self was
there.
actually quite altruistic. Yeah, her younger self was actually very altruistic. Her older
Right.
self was just an ass, and
Right.
it was it the film itself was going to hinge Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. And if you're a Ryan Reynolds fan, God bless you, this was your movie. It was just okay for me. So I'm glad it was on Netflix, so I didn't have to step outside my house to see it. Anything else on that movie, DJ?
No.
Okay.
Rough.
Well, right, right. So now that we finished going down that rabbit hole, the next thing we want to talk about, the Guardians of Justice. Now we touched on this a little bit before. I think I was cussing Percy out for making me watch this shit. But the Guardians of Justice is essentially Justice League on ass. It was. I couldn't. Episode 4. Were you all?
You're bringing up like
So not,
Chevy Chase in Spies Like Us. Was that too old? I'm sorry. Was that too old?
I couldn't.
Is he still talking?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was too old.
I told you should put that Cash App on there so we can get you some better Wi-Fi.
See, you hear me now?
Drop the Cash App. Get a Patreon account. We can get this man a Nighthawk router.
Yeah, okay, that's what I got. Yep. So, all right, I guess we're gonna take over the show from here. So, Uncle Rod.
Guardians of Justice. Man, I know why he cursed Percy out. Yes.
Okay, so
I know why he cursed
what was your
Percy out.
take? What was your take on it?
It was like we talked about briefly. I think it might have been the last show. It was, Guardians of Justice is like the dude, Adi Shankar.
Okay.
Said, I want to make a show like Watchmen, but I kind of want to have Justice League, and I want 8-bit graphics, and I want manga or anime graphics and live action. And I want all that shit to look like I did a line of acid. Or did a hit of acid on a line of coke. And story-wise, I mean, it's pretty basic. It's a murder mystery.
Okay.
It's a murder mystery. The greatest hero of the world, their Superman, commits suicide. And the one character in the superhero group who doesn't think that it's a suicide is the Batman analog, the guy who's supposed to be like Batman, played by ex-WWE WCW wrestler Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
is that who that was?
That's who that is.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Yeah, that's DDP, man.
Jesus Christ! Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's DDP, and so he looks at and it's like they really wanted him. They really wanted it to be like a Justice League. They really wanted this guy to be like Batman because just like Batman has all kinds of several contingencies for when his teammates go rogue or what have you. He's got contingencies on contingencies, and so he finds out that one of the main suspects are indeed one of his teammates, and so it goes from there. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it.
Okay. Okay, but
Because
one side
somebody's
note.
going to want to watch this.
One side note
So,
for all the people out
listen,
there
man.
that keep talking about, is wrestling real? I just got to note how many wrestlers wind up being actors. So that should give you a hint whether that wrestling shit is real or not.
That's a whole lot of quotation marks. But look, somebody's going to want to watch this. Somebody heard Watchmen and Justice League and hit an acid, and they're like, yeah, I'm in. Somebody's going to watch
Of
this.
the 5 people who watch this show, one of them is going to be like, "Huh, that sounds interesting."
Okay.
Along with the
Okay.
8-bit animation and the live action and
You had me at
the
Diamond Dallas Page.
right. There you go. So
Gonna be all in.
Here's the
It's
ultimate question,
ambitious,
Rob.
though. I
Would you
will give him
recommend?
credit. I will give him credit.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
an
yeah,
ambitious
yeah,
project.
yeah. It's definitely I can follow along with the storyline, even though it takes like wild left and right turns everywhere. And but I just couldn't get past episode 4. I was just like, this shit is too much for me. And I can take a lot. That's too much. So, Rod, would you recommend this show to somebody?
If you're high, yes.
And that is the best
Or
recommendation
or
I've
if
ever
you
heard on this
or
show.
if you just want to see it, just to say you saw it. Like
Right.
I said before, Adi Shankar, he obviously put a lot of hard work into this. Like he really had a
He did.
vision. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's not gonna hit with everybody. I would just say
No.
everybody watch the first episode. Everybody should watch the first episode and then just kind of go from there. Decide if you want to continue.
Okay.
I can say this one thing, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Uncle Percy did not like Peacemaker, but
Peacemaker.
he loves this show.
Yeah, I'm still
That
Wow.
trying to figure
right
that out.
there.
I guess
Yeah,
I'm
that's
still
he
trying
saying
to
did not
figure
something.
that
like
out.
Peacemaker, but he loves this show. So take that for what you want. And Uncle Percy, I hope you heard me say that shit too.
Oh, real
Next
quick,
up,
James Otis Hall gave a shout out to
okay.
rest in peace Scott Hall, another wrestler who died recently. He was a WWE and WCW wrestler star.
Oh,
He teamed up very often with who used to be called Big Daddy Diesel, who's
you
also
know,
Kevin Nash.
Ooh.
Did he freeze again?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
Big Dad's like Monday.
They were also
Am I back?
founding members of the NWO and WCW.
Okay. I was
Just
saying
FYI,
one day we're gonna have to
I'm
actually
not. I'm not trying to
go ahead.
go back down the rabbit hole, but since I had it on my screen, I was looking up her IMDb.
Here we
Just
go.
FYI. No. Just FYI. Avatar 2. Avatar 2 post production 2022. Avatar 3 is in post production for 2024.
Yep.
Avatar 4 and 5 are filming now to come out in 26 and 28.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what dude is thinking about, but
They got 4 movies. 2 of them are already in the can post production, and 2 more filming right now
yeah,
for the next 6 years.
yeah. He's trying to make an
Do you
Yeah.
see the
Avatar
look on my
universe.
face? I smell something. Do you see the look on my face as if I smell something putrid? Because why do we need all these fucking Avatar films? Okay, so next up, The Boys Diabolical. This was an easy watch because each episode was only like 10 minutes long.
Correct.
So essentially, they gave the property or the world of the boys to different writers and said, you know, no matter how vulgar, no matter how nasty,
Did we lose him again?
play with the world of the boys and do what you want.
Okay,
I thought it was interesting. The one, Jesus Christ. Oh, am I back?
kind of.
Nope. I think I'm about
Sort
to go
of.
out.
We can hear you. We can hear you right now. Your lips are pursed up like Mrs. Grumpy Old Nerd. Is coming to visit the show or something.
I thought you was about to say Mrs. Doubtfire.
If he did have some pancake makeup on and a wig, he would kind of favor Medea.
Hell no, don't do that. Don't do that. We gotta wait for Uncle John to escape from the still force.
He's back. Yeah, he's back.
You back?
Hey man, you
you.
must have pissed off the Scarlet Witch or something, because she.
I'm telling you, I talked about the white man's woman, Zoe Saldana.
Oh, see, here we go.
That was his.
You got locked up again.
That's why. See. Keep on. See what happens.
Oh, that's what's going on, y'all. I think the white man. I ain't talking about his woman. Can y'all hear me?
So what else we got on? What else we got on
black
the list?
people phrase. Classic black people phrase. Do it if you want to. Keep talking if you want to.
Fuck around and find out. You should start talking about the Martin remake. I bet you'll come right back.
Are you for real?
Oh, you haven't seen the latest video?
Come on, bro. Are you for real?
Roy, wait a minute. Roy should grab that for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A remake of Martin.
It's called either Tommy and Pam or Pam and Tommy.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
I was really skeptical when I first heard about Bel Air, but Bel Air is really good.
I haven't done it yet.
It's on Peacock.
Yeah, Pam and Tommy is only on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee.
I was about to say, you talking about the same? Talking about the same Pam and Tommy?
Yeah, no. Maybe this is why they called it. This is Tommy and Pam. So you got Pam and Tommy, and you got Tommy and Pam. Let me see if I can find it. It's crazy. I think it's one of those. I think it might be the same people who did the Bel Air initial little video to kind of sell it to Will Smith, and before they made the actual series. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think it's like that trailer. So yeah. So I guess they put together this trailer, and I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be a real movie or whatever. It's got like a cast thing at the end of it and stuff. I just saw it today.
Okay.
I just saw it today. Yeah. But
all right, I'll look for it. I'll take a look. I'll take a look for it, definitely.
Yeah. Like just make sure you put because of Tommy Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee, you got to put like Martin or something in there so you can get the right one.
Right. Okay, got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let's we can move on, and I think Uncle John is going to log off and come back in.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So
I'm
yeah,
sure.
next up, next up on our list, we've got Winning Time, the HBO Max series, which details the rise of the Lakers
Oh, the
dynasty in the '80s.
Lakers. You've
Hmm.
been watching it?
I
Okay, talk
have.
to me. What's happening?
All right. So basically, it starts off with um, Dr. Jerry Buss buying the team. Dr. Jerry Buss is played
Okay.
by John C. Riley of Step Brothers. Uh, you know, he's also in Guardians of the Galaxy, but really funny guy. To
Wait a
me, he
minute.
does a
Back up
really
one
good job.
second.
Yeah.
Back up one second. Because I had started it and I was like, no, I'm gonna have to watch this with some liquor and some and cigar. So I
Right.
paused it. But am I mistaken, or did they like literally start? Does it kind of start with Magic finding out he got AIDS, like after the doctor's visit?
Right. It starts out
Okay,
with him
that's kind of
waiting
how
on
they
the
started,
results.
right?
Yeah, that's how it starts
Okay,
off. Right.
and then they
And
go
then it
back
goes
in
into a
time.
flashback. Right. Right.
Okay, okay,
It flashes back to when Dr. Buss first buys the team,
okay,
and from Jack Kent Cook. Now, and it also goes into how in his mind, the best way to revitalize the franchise and bring people to the forum is to draft Irvin Magic Johnson, because he's watched him on TV win a national championship playing against Larry Bird.
right.
So he says, I'm going to Magic, and all his player personnel people, including his head coach, are against it. And so the way,
Really?
yeah, so Jerry West is portrayed as like it's like a inconsolable, miserable dude in this
Okay,
series. Um, but he does kind of redeem himself later on. Like, he's totally
okay,
against drafting Magic. He wants Norm Nixon to remain the point guard. Um, Norm wants to remain the point guard, but we all know Magic is
right, right,
drafted, and we kind of know what happens after that. But it's
right.
interesting to see the behind the scenes, so somewhat of the behind the scenes look at how this thing was built, because Jerry Buss also was a very unconventional guy. I think part of that was because he wasn't really born into his money, so to speak. Like, he was pretty much kind of a self-made dude.
Okay,
So there's a scene in a restaurant where he's talking to Red Auerbach, and he's kind of like really interested and really feeling like he's going to get some information from Red, like basically, how do you build your team into a winner? And so Red
right.
Auerbach, and I didn't know the man personally, but I heard he was somewhat of a jackass. He pretty much just kind of he kind of sons Jerry West. Like, you know, I'm here just to eat. I'm gonna eat, and I'm not gonna tell you
Right,
anything. I'm just gonna kick your ass. So that really
right.
seemed to
You're the
spark Jerry.
Lakers. We're the
Right,
Celtics. I'm not
right,
giving you shit. Yeah,
right.
I
That
got you.
seemed to really spark Jerry to now saying we're going to win no matter what. And so
Okay,
it goes from there, and then it gets more, it gets more into more and more of the weeds as to how that dynasty was built. And they're doing a really
okay.
good job with it so far. I think everybody pretty much looks like the real deal.
The real
Um,
deal. Yeah.
yeah, everybody looks like how the real people look, and it's very funny. It's very interesting at times to see the dynamics between people, and I think it was interesting to see how Jerry Buss kind of moved among different sectors of his organization and different sectors of life. It's kind of like
Okay.
it's almost like he just was oblivious. He was just like this happy. It's almost like it seems like this happy, oblivious dude that just gets shit done, and it's weird. It's weird to see it. It's interesting, but it's weird.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check it then. I mean, I had all intentions on watching it. Um, I just haven't gotten around to it.
Right. Definitely check it out. I think we're only 3 or 4 episodes in right now, so um,
Okay.
you can still catch up, and they go really fast, so you can
Okay.
definitely catch up.
Cool.
Yep. So next up, we're talking about different Jokers. We're ranking Jokers. Joker being the arch nemesis of Batman, the clown prince of crime. Um, based on if you're going to believe the story of the Killing Joke as his origin story, a failed
Right.
comedian that a couple of things go bad and he feels that he snaps and thinks that life is one big joke, and from that point on, he just tears shit
Is
up.
there? Are you getting a
Was there a
ringing?
phone ringing? Yeah, I think Uncle
Yeah.
John is going to
Oh,
call in.
okay. I was about to say,
So let's
man.
so let's see what happens. Uncle John's going to call in a little bit, but I'm going to continue to set this up. So we have the different Jokers from different times and different films,
Right.
starting with Cesar Romero,
Yes, sir.
as the Joker from the Batman television series in the 60s.
Now they never really gave a backstory to him, right? Really,
Not at
none of them
all.
back then.
No.
Yeah.
They just
There were
came
no
out.
backstories.
No. They just
Right.
came out full
Just
grown,
crazy. Here they
trying to
go,
do
full
shit.
grown crazy. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We've got Cesar Romero. We've got Jack Nicholson, the Joker from the Tim Burton Batman film.
Yes, sir.
We've got Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight.
And that was all. Not all backstory, but I mean, shit. Half the movie was
Pretty much.
backstory.
But well, okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Also, we've got
Okay. All right.
Joaquin Phoenix from the Joker, the film called The Joker.
Right.
We've got Jared Leto, who played the Joker in the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah.
And we've got Mark Hamill as the voice of the Joker from the various DC animated features, mostly being Batman the animated series,
right,
as well as the Justice League television show. So those are the Jokers we're gonna take a look at. And let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 there.
6.
So I guess we're gonna take a little bit of time and kind of rank them 1 through 6. 1 being the top, and 6 being the least. I can't say the worst, just the least, because they're all really good.
Just okay, but just I mean, should we wait until we get the crew back together, just the two of us?
Nah, but I'm just saying to think about it.
We have to revisit it. Oh yeah,
right.
I'm about to say,
yeah, do some thinking about it. Hopefully, John will come in and he'll be able to contribute. And
because I know Auntie Nicole got something to say about this, and I'm sure Uncle Percy would probably give us maybe his 1 and his 6 and be like, the rest don't matter. We'd be lucky to get his number 1.
That's the philosophy of if you're not first, you last.
Right. Right. I think Uncle Percy's just going to give us 2. Be like, that's it. Like, I don't
Second place
is the
first
rest.
loser.
Right. That's it. That's it. If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. I hear the phone ringing. I don't know what's going on.
All kind of stuff, man. Uncle Roy's
y'all hear me?
Uncle John, you're back.
Hey,
Uncle John is back via phone.
Oh,
this time
I had my temper tantrum, and now I feel a lot better.
Now we got a decent picture of you now too.
You had your temper tantrum. Now you good, Uncle John?
Yeah, so fuck it, I'm out. I'm done. My internet, the white man's internet got me. I said fuck it. I'm out.
So you're gonna blame the white man and not the walls in your house? All right, no problem.
Yeah. I'm going to be very black about this and blame the white man and not the fact that I have inadequate equipment. Yeah.
Let's see.
What we talking about?
We are ranking
the
Jokers.
We were talking about the Joker rankings.
Oh, okay.
So I just went over a brief overview of each one of them, and we're gonna rank them starting from 1 to 6. 1 being the best, and 6 being 6th. Worst. All right. So, and we've had a little bit of time waiting for you to call in. Had a little bit of time to think it over. So, I'm gonna DJ. Let's start with you. Who would you say was your number 6?
That's Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, okay. From Suicide Squad. Why is he your 6?
I think we all agree. I think we all agree with that.
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling that. Just nothing about him
as Joker. Like I don't even he doesn't. I mean, other than old girl calling him, Joker like constantly. There's nothing about him that said Joker to me.
Okay, I
You
got
know.
you.
So other than her identifying him as such, that was it.
Got you.
I didn't think that he did that bad a job. It's just that everybody else on this list was so legendary in their portrayals of him. I can't. I did what they tried to do with him, just trying to make him a little bit more modern, I guess, like with all the tattoos and I think he kind of nailed the mad antics, but I think they went a particular way, and the public wasn't ready for that type of Joker. You know what I mean?
If we were ranking him as the number one Pete Davidson, I mean, other than Pete Davidson, he pretty much got Pete Davidson down pat.
He's my number 6'2". I'm not gonna lie, he's my 6'2".
Yeah.
Again, they tried to do something a little different with him. It just didn't land right with me. He looks more like like a parody of a Mexican gangster.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and so I was like, okay, I get the tattoos, I get the gold teeth, whatever. You got all the candles on the floor, cool. The laugh really like sealed it for me. I was like, some people like, oh, the laugh is just terrifying. I'm listening to it. I'm like, it sounds, I don't know. I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, all right, do it. You're the Joker. Let's go.
Here's my fantasy. Gary Oldman as the gangster in True Romance. I would love to see Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad walk into Gary Oldman's crib and shit, and Gary Oldman go, "This ain't white boy day. Is this white boy day? This ain't white boy day."
Wow.
And just take him out. Just
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, John, you said he's your 6 as well, right? So we all agree on that?
Yeah. We all agree on that.
All right, what about 5? What about 5, John? You started off.
Number 5 for me is Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
Damn.
It's not that his performance was bad. It's just that I admire the other ones a little bit more. And I think that he was, no matter what happened, he was still Jack Nicholson. And I didn't feel the manicness. I'm sure that's not a word. I didn't feel the manicness in his performance as I did just the overall. Yeah, we get your evil, but you're not crazy evil. If that makes sense.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. It's clear that he's villainous, but it's not clear that he is
insane.
It's not quite as clear that he has a warped sense of humor. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, what about you, DJ?
Well, for me, it's Phoenix.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, so I have to admit I haven't seen the movie, but from everything I've seen, every clip, every trailer, every bit of it, I'm like, there's nothing that I've seen that makes me even want to see the movie.
Okay.
So that right there.
Got you. Okay, I think for me, number 5 also is Jack Nicholson, but I think it's interesting because I was thinking the same thing John was thinking, but I also was thinking that when I first saw him in the role, at first I wasn't convinced that he'd be able to do it, but when I finally did see him in the makeup and see him on the screen, I could tell that he really put some thought into it. He really put some effort into that role.
Right.
And it looked like he was having fun doing it, actually.
Oh my God! Yes.
To me, one of the minuses was kind of like what John said, is that I saw the menace, but I didn't see I didn't see the menace disguised as weird comedy. Like, when I think the
Mm-hmm.
Joker, I think somebody who feels like his practical jokes or what he says is really funny, but it's very, very
Right.
deadly at the same time. And sometimes he wants it that way, and other times he's genuinely surprised about how deadly his shit is. That's the kind of Joker I
Yeah.
think about.
Right.
But he's
I agree.
always chaos. And so
I agree.
that's why I would put Nicholson there.
Gotcha. Okay, so number 4 for me is 654. Yeah. Had to make
Yeah,
sure
it's
my
1-4.
math is correct. Number 4 for me is Cesar Romero, and he would be higher if I didn't have these other performances ahead of him, because he was my first Joker, and he
Right.
was, of all the arch enemies on the Batman TV show back in the 60s, 70s, he was the most fun. And his
Yeah.
laugh is the basis for every Joker's laugh going forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I don't
Yes.
want to place Cesar Romero on the top just because I'm an old head. And I just say, oh, nobody was just as good. Nobody was good as the original. No, I'm not going to do
Right.
that this time.
Right.
But he deserves to be in somewhere in the top because he's the originator. And his performance was, Cesar Romero just kicked ass as the Joker on the TV. And everything else, even though everything else was supposed to be cheesy, his cheesy was actually pretty solid.
Solid cheesy.
Right. Solid cheesy.
I got you. What about you, DJ?
Well, first of all due respect to the man, but as far as listing Jokers, Mark Hamill, he's disembodied. I mean, it's a voice. He may be amazing as the voice, but it's still just a voice, and it's animated. So there's so many other people, what I'm saying, that went into making that Joker that I can't give Mark Hamill anything higher. I'm definitely putting him over Jared Leto. And who was the other one I said?
Juaqin Phoenix.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, just his voice is better than the two of them to me. So I'll give him that. But that's my number 4.
Okay. My number 4, I think I want to put. That's interesting. I think I want to put Caesar there too, even though he was my first Joker, and I really enjoy watching him do his thing. Like he's almost like on the
Oh,
other
yeah.
end of the spectrum, where a lot of his stuff is like ultra silly and not quite as dangerous, but the whole show was really, really cartoonish and really slapstick.
Yeah.
So the danger never really looked like real danger. So he fit right in. Right, I got that. One of the one of the things that I thought was real gangster about Caesar, I love the laugh, but one of the things I really thought was real gangster about him was that he didn't shave his mustache for the role.
Right.
So you got that makeup over that big ass mustache, and it looks crazy.
Over the big
but it worked for him.
mustache, right?
Yeah, but it
Right.
worked for him.
Yep, absolutely. Caesar said, "Fuck y'all, I'm gonna keep my
I'm
mustache."
sure there was a conversation like, so are you going to shave the mustache? Hell no.
Right. Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And Caesar was a G. He said, "Yeah, to hell with that. Y'all better get some good makeup."
Man, if you saw any of his old movies, dude.
Yeah,
he was like, "Hey, put it on extra thick on my face."
Cesar Romero was the man.
So number 3 for me, I believe it's my turn again. Number 3 for me, is it number 3 or number 2?
Number 3.
Okay, 6 was Jared. Number 3 is Joaquin Phoenix. And the reason Joaquin is 3 is that his performance in that movie was unparalleled. He made you think he was crazy, and his further descent into madness was convincing. But the only reason that he's not higher is because I need him to face a hero. You know what I'm saying? His portrayal was solid, but I needed to see him match with Batman in order for him to take it over the top for me. Now, if we get another Joker film where he goes off against Batman, or even better still, if it's a Joker film facing like maybe even Robert Pattinson's Batman, I would be cool with that. But I need for him, he struck all the right notes, he hit all the right chords, he was all kinds of the right crazy, but I need to see him versus a Batman.
Right. That's kind of why I put him there also. I thought that he captured a whole sense of hopelessness and a sense of dysfunction, and his realization that life is just one big sick joke. He caught that perfectly. And like you said, he just kind of was left to kind of run ragged throughout the city, and no one really stood up to him, or he had no equal to face him. So you just kind of get to see this guy just kind of running amok. You know why he's doing it. You know, you've seen what's happened to him. So you kind of, in a way, you're somewhat sympathetic, but at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're like, nah, man, you really can't do this. It's no good. You know, and there was no foil to it. But I think he captured the sense of hopelessness and the sense of life being a sick joke. I think he probably captured that the best. Second best, I should say.
All right, DJ.
Oh, my number 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
Shoot. Because I got to remember who's left on my list. So I got Heath, I got Jack, and I got Cesar Romero. Well, it would be Cesar Romero then for my number 3. He was the first, but like you said, you know, the evil, you know, the menacing aspect of it. You know, Caesar was the original. He was the fun, and it wasn't just the laugh. It was that woo. You know, when he would get that long woo. You know, he would do that all the time. You know, and it was just so much fun. The Penguin was cool. You know, wah, wah, wah. And Mr. Freeze. You know, Mr. Freeze and everything. And of course, you know, who couldn't love every Catwoman iteration, you know, on the Adam West Batmans. But I just always look forward to seeing Cesar Romero bring his crazy ass out there.
There you go. So my number 2, and I guess I'm also going to reveal my number 1 as well. My number 2 is Heath Ledger, because in a trilogy of films that I thought were overrated, and yes, I feel that those films are overrated. They're not bad; they're just overrated. I feel that the Dark Knight, is that the second one with him? I feel that the Dark Knight is the best, and what makes it the best is because the Joker is the villain, and Heath Ledger played that role to a T. I think that as a villain, Joaquin Phoenix may have outperformed because he got to explore the inner workings and give us the beginning of the Joker, but Heath Ledger actually got to match wits with a Batman, and he got to actually fight a Batman and prove, number one, how crazy he was and how reckless he was by putting the entire city in danger and just, you know, fuck with the Batman's world and just give him a hard time. So that means my number 1 is Mark Hamill. And I get what you're saying, DJ, about him being just a disembodied voice. But Mark Hamill as a voice actor, for those of you who don't know, and if you watch this show or listen to this show, you know this shit. Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker. And when I first found out that Luke Skywalker was also the Joker, I was like, holy shit, this man is amazing. And just like Cesar Romero defined that character for so long, Mark Hamill has defined that character. His animated style has defined that character in that way. You can't go anywhere without Mark Hamill being the Joker. Like, Cesar Romero was the Joker for the 60s and 70s. Mark Hamill is the Joker for the animated set. And his performance as a Joker is just, man, it's outstanding. And it gives you the right amount of crazy, the right amount of childlike goofiness, and the right amount of Batman. Suck it, Batman. So
right.
you know, it's just because the Joker encompasses all that. What the Joker wants to do is fuck with Batman. And if he has to kill a couple people to do it, he'll do that. So, I mean, that's Mark Hamill #1 and Heath Ledger #2, just because Mark Hamill just defines the voice role of the Joker for so many people.
My 2 and 1 are exactly the same.
Okay.
We're frozen.
No reason why. Same reasons.
No reason why.
I mean,
Well,
same
because
reasons, or
pretty much the same reasons. I think Mark Hamill at 1 is because he defined the Joker for generations, like a generation and a half, actually.
okay, I got you.
And his performance, other people have had to, because it was so great, other people kind of had to look at that and then kind of make their performances similar, because other people have done the Joker in animated features and in video games, and they try to copy his style of the Joker. So that's how good his was. Heath Ledger did, like I said before, he